Here's why I'm more worried than ever for Bryce Young, and I really didn't even think I was ever going to say this because I thought this Panthers team had potential to go, maybe 8-9 this year, 9-8, something along those lines. I hope this is something we overlook and we chalk it up to as, oh yeah, they were just filling out the kinks and fixing some things. After what I saw last night, don't even try to tell me for a second I'm overreacting. I am pushing the panic button. After watching Bryce Young's first game with the Carolina Panthers in that awful and horrific offensive line, I was worried. Or not worried, my bad. I was slightly concerned. We already knew the Carolina Panthers had one of, if not the worst offensive lines heading into the 2023 season. But now, after watching the second preseason game last night, I am officially worried. I'm worried for Bryce Young, and a lot of other people out here, they're in the same boat as me. We got to talk about what happened last night, and by the way, we're not doing no intro, none of that. We're jumping straight into things. If you like football content, consider joining our amazing community. Football's right around the corner, and everybody knows this. When football season starts, it's all we talk about. So if you do enjoy football, I think you'd like to be a part of our channel and our community. But first things first, on Twitter, one of you sent me this, and it says, Matt B. Great's mind while making a video. And you see the picture right here, when you want your lawn to look like a golf course. Okay. Let me give some context to the situation. So in yesterday's video, I don't even know how we got this sidetracked, but we was talking about the weather and my grass for like 2 to 3 minutes. Look, I don't even know how we got to that subject, but I'm not joking. Number one, I am tired of cutting grass. I hope this heat wave that comes in, it kills it. And number two, by the way, stay safe out there, guys, because apparently and allegedly it's not even apparently and allegedly what I'm talking about. It's going to happen. A heat wave, an insane heat dome. It's coming to the United States. Pretty much wherever you live, unless you're far on the East Coast or far on the West Coast, it's going to be about 90 to 120 degrees. Stay safe out there, guys, especially for people in Texas. Whew, I know it's hot there. It is hot here, but let's lock in. Let's get down to business. Let's talk about some football. So early last night, I carved some time out of my day to tune in to the Carolina Panthers' second preseason game. And the only reason I tuned into this game, and I'm sure many of you are in the same boat here, is because of Bryce Young. That's it. As soon as they pulled him out, yeah, I quit watching. Don't care. That's all I came to see. And what I saw live, when I was watching it live, I wasn't too big of a fan of. But of course, like always, after I got done watching the game, I went back and I watched some film just to reassure myself. Because a lot of times whenever I do research for videos and just watch film and study film, I learn a little bit more and I see things differently. And actually, when I went back the second time to watch Bryce Young's play, I watched every single play multiple times. It was worse than I originally thought. Because when I was watching the film for the second and third and fourth time, I knew what to expect and I knew what to look for. And that is when this glaring weakness, it stood out to me. I know it's a preseason. I already know what everybody's going to say. Matt, you're overreacting, blah, blah, blah. Don't care what anybody says. The Carolina Panthers have the worst offensive line in the league. I already stated it was going to be one of the worst offensive lines months ago. I said this in the offseason. What did I say when Bryce Young got drafted by the Panthers? That was my biggest concern. Because anybody that knows football, you know Bryce Young, he's calm, cool, and collected. He's got high IQ. He fits the NFL perfectly because he can read defenses so fast. He can get the ball out just like that in a split second. I wasn't concerned about Bryce Young. I'm concerned about this offensive line. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. I don't care if you're Tom freaking Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time. If you don't have time to pass, you're not going to look good. Even Tom Brady, when he didn't have time to pass with the Buccaneers, he didn't look that good. Truth be told, if you're a quarterback and you don't have time to pass and pressure's in your face 24/7, you're going to look mediocre at best. That's the bottom line. Don't care what anybody tries to tell you. Well, here's the thing with Bryce Young. Let's break this down. Well, before we do that, let's take a look at his box score. I don't even know what he wound up going. Doesn't really matter. But let's pull it up because I know you guys are like looking at stats and they give you somewhat of a perspective. Where are we at right here? Okay, Carolina Panthers and the Giants. Bryce Young was 3 for 6, 35 yards, and he got sacked once for a 7-yard loss. Not gonna lie to y'all, these numbers are slightly better than what I thought they looked like. I don't know why it seems like they should be worse, but whatever. The box score really doesn't matter in this video because what we're going to talk about has nothing to do with the box score and it doesn't show up in the box score. What we're here to talk about is every single play. I'm talking about almost, I'd say 9 out of 10 plays when Bryce Young drops back, he has pressure in his face. On the first pass play of the game, it was a play action. He scrambled for a couple yards. On the second one is a 3rd and 3, and he had, I believe it was Jonathan Mingo, the rookie out of Ole Miss. He was cutting across the middle, and it was a great pass, but Mingo, he stopped on his route. Is miscommunication. That's all there is to it, miscommunication. It happens. But here's the thing with this play I want to show you. I'm going to circle it to you right here. Look at this. Only 3 people rushed. And they still got pressure in his face. On that play, Bryce Young is fading away, throwing off his back foot and had a sidearm pass it, and he dang near completed it. I'm going to say this again. Only 3 people rushed. Yeah, That's a bad sign, guys. On his next pass attempt, he just threw the ball out of bounds, and then it was 2nd and 10. It was a run-pass option, and he only had about 1.5 seconds to let it go, and he threw a perfect slant route pass. And that's the thing about Bryce Young, man. He reads defenses already so fast at an NFL level. And then we had the Bryce Young Houdini act. He did this at Alabama a lot, where it was 1st and 10. They was rushing him, stepped up. He winds up tripping over himself, makes an incredible throw. It wasn't completed, but man, that was a special play. You could see from that play alone why he was drafted number 1. Didn't complete the pass, but I remember watching that live. I was like, man, this dude can play. Then we had a 3rd and 6, and yet again, he completed it. 1st down to Adam Thielen. That's all good, but he's throwing off his back foot. I don't know if this offensive line is made out of that one-ply toilet paper in the middle school bathroom, but they just seem weak. Next pass attempt, he winds up throwing it out of bounds. Then you had a 3rd and 9, and what do you know? Pressure in his face, and he throws the ball. He had the guy open, and he threw it about a foot or two short, and Dexter Lawrence, I believe that's who it was, actually hit him in the face, and it was a 15-yard penalty. But yet again, the point is, he's got a hand in his face almost every single time he drops back to throw the ball. And then this play right here, it was early in the second quarter, 2nd and 9, they're on the 10. I was like, oh man, I don't even know if Bryce Young's going to be able to finish the regular season. As soon as he hiked the ball, I don't know what the left tackle was doing, but he just got destroyed. Thibodeau just had a completely free shot at him and just lit him up. Then you had a 3rd and 21, and guess what? He throws a beautiful pass, but yet again, he gets destroyed on the play. I don't know who their left tackle is, but he is awful. Thibodeau beat him all game long. And then the last and final pass attempt for Bryce Young was 3rd and 31. He wound up checking it down. Here's why I'm more worried than ever for Bryce Young, and I really didn't even think I was ever going to say this, because I thought this Panthers team had potential to go, maybe 8-9 this year, 9-8, something along those lines. Worried and concerned is going to be the 2 words of this video. I'm extremely worried about Bryce Young throwing every single pass dang near off his back foot. I am worried about him getting hit on almost 50% of his dropbacks. I am worried about him not being comfortable in the pocket. And I understand he's going to get sacked probably 2 or 3 times a game like every other quarterback in the NFL. That happens. There's a lot of great edge rushers out there. But what shouldn't happen is him being hit on 60-65% of his dropbacks. And to go on top of that, it's not like he's Tom Brady back there like a statue. He's a pretty sneaky athletic type of guy. I'm not saying he's like Lamar Jackson, but he can definitely create some space. And yet, even with him being athletic, he's still getting hit a lot. With all that negative stuff being said, let's take a look at the bright side. Just like this comment right here got over 140 likes, already looks so calm and collected. I've been trying to tell people that for years. There's nobody more calm, cool, and collected than Bryce Young. If you want to look at the positives in the preseason games, Bryce Young, he looks like the real deal. He fits the part. Am I going to hype that up? Not really. He was the number 1 overall pick for a reason. We shouldn't be shocked about him looking good. What has always taken him to a completely different level, at least in my humble opinion, is his ability to process defenses quickly. That's why he was so efficient at Alabama and why he was so good and why he won the Heisman Trophy. I have yet to see a quarterback read defenses that well to college level ever in my life. He has an uncanny ability. You can't teach it. No normal person can process defenses that quickly. I don't know what you want to attribute that to, maybe his parents, maybe film study, but he's unreal. And to go on top of that, he's got a good arm and he's got a good feel for the game. I think all of that, even though we have a small sample size, it's been noticed in the 2 preseason games that he's played in. Also, though, a lot of people in the comments, they're saying this the same way I am. This man is going to be cooked every time his offensive line faces a decent pass rush, and I agree. I think with the Carolina Panthers, you're going to see a lot of short passes because I don't know if the offensive line can hold up for a deep pass. I really don't. You notice with the run pass option passes and the short dump offs, yeah, those were pretty efficient plays. But anything over a 15-20 yard route, he didn't even have time to throw. I think he's got pretty decent weapons around him. Got Adam Thielen, Chart, Mingo, and then you got Hayden Hurst at tight end. But it goes back to this, guys, and I don't want to sound like a broken record player here. You don't give him time to throw, it doesn't matter who you have out there running the routes. I just hope and pray for Bryce Young's sake. It's been a bad couple of games for the offensive line in the preseason. I hope this is something we overlook and we chalk it up to as, oh yeah, they were just filling out the kinks and fixing some things. But, and I have a really big but, you better believe this. If you want my honest truth, I don't think they're going to fix this anytime soon. I think this offensive line is one of, if not the worst in the entire league. But just like with anything and everything in this life, time will tell. Let me know your thoughts down below, but roll